But black people have also found it troubling to call Africa home. Oh, Melissa, you don't say. Did you say it, Melissa? Emphasizing African identity can mean relinquishing hard-earned affirmations of Americanness. The Negro was made an American through the sin of slavery, but kept this identity through the sacrifices of citizenship, taxes, patriotism, and struggle. Few acts of racism elicit more disgust. More disgust. I want you to stay with me here. Few acts of racism elicit more disgust among black folk descended from 18th century slaves than being told to go back to Africa by a white person whose American heritage goes back only to the 20th century. You better preach. How do you tell me we are more American than anybody? But you know what the irony here is? Do you know what the strange thing here is? She right. Like when you tell us to go back to Africa, I ain't never even been there. Go back. What you mean? This home. That's why we get so offended, because somewhere down the line we know this is home, and we know we built home. We know we built the house you live in. Your people came here. What, 100 years ago? 130 years ago? 150 years ago? We've been here since forever. So you telling me to go back somewhere where you ain't even been here that long is offensive. Because I'm as American as anything. I built the America that you call home. So what Melissa Harris Perry is saying is that is offensive. But see, part of the problem is people who want to call, you can't see, this is the dilemma. You can't call yourself African and then be offended when somebody tells you to go back to Africa. What they're telling you to do is go home. You got to decide what home is. People say, well, I'm African, Yvette. I'm not American. And I'm an African refuge, stolen person, whatever. Yvette, I'm not what you say I am. I'm not an American. I refuse. And then somebody says, go back to Africa. And you say, who are you? I'll knock you out. I'll sock you in your side. Wait a minute. That's what you just said, though. Now, why you mad? Somebody just telling you to go home if that's what you think home is. Why would you be upset? You're upset because you know, first of all, that that's not home. That umbilical cord got cut a long time ago. You know that's not home. You know we got remade into something else. You know this is home. And you know we built home. And you know nobody, in your deepest mind, you know that nobody has a right to tell you to go anywhere. You know that nobody has a right to tell you where to go. You know that everybody is living here because of our blood, sweat, and tears. That's what, whether you admit it or not, that's what you know. And that's why you get pissed off. That's why you get pissed off. But if you get pissed off, you got to know that you're American. And once you're American, you got to understand why you're not living an American life. You got to understand that you didn't get your due. I didn't get my due. We didn't get our due. See, once you understand that you're an American, there's a level of infuriated. You get infuriated because you get really pissed off. Wait a minute, I am American. And I ain't living right. I got too many struggles to be living in the richest country in the world. Can't live in this fantasy. But